Have you seen them all in America? Dying off it, aren't they? Seen them all? Have you seen the rap artists that are all over the social media over there? You know, like the relevant ones? Finished off it. It's creeping through London now as well, though, people. That's what you need to understand. When you've got these groups in London flying the red flag and flying the blue flag and drinking lean, thinking they're American, they're all acting that, they're all going on like they're living in a place where firearms are legal. Same mentality, isn't it? What is lean? Drugs. No matter how you look at them, it's drugs. I had some doctor trying to sell me about, I'm not kidding you. You've got, what's his name? Because he was casing me for months trying to get me on it. And he could get it because he was a doctor. Codeine. That's what I think it was, codeine, and he mixed it with something, this doctor. And this doctor's from Ormskirk. Scousers will know what I'm on about. He's like a doctor but thinks he's a gangster. He's around the MMA fighters a lot. He's always giving the MMA fighters this painkiller, which is basically lean. For years he's been doing that. I think he's been struck off, you know. I think I read something in the paper about him a month ago or two. But basically what it is, it's codeine and something else, and they drink it.
Project, and she's looking pretty tired, Jill.
She's stuck though, and that
they drink it, la.
Looming.
It looms for us all, Jill.
Wait a minute.
There's own saying cough syrup mixed with cough syrup. That's what it must be then.
Grammarly is an AI
So basically, anything with "een" on the end of it.
Look at that, Bill.
Is
so
codeine. What else is there?
Done.
And she sounds like herself.
There's loads of that fucking.
Also, like you trust her.
Amachaline or chachaline, all these mad, all opiate based, aren't they?
Coming her way.
It's all opiate based, mate.
Yeah, she is. She's using Grammarly to stay on the ball.
So your cocodimol, basically, every painkiller you get off the doctor has got opiates in it. Opioids, opiate based. If you don't know what opiates is, it's derived from opium, which on your streets is called heroin. And they've been using it since we were born on people. And I've told you about it, haven't I? You get people go to the doctor, oh, I've slipped a bit, my back, I can't stand up. Okay, then you are, have these. Get on them cocodimol. Before you know, you're hooked. And you're hooked on the opioids that's in it. You walk around like a smackhead. And that's why when you're coming off them, you have a crazy mad rattle. I don't know why doctors aren't held responsible for that. If a doctor prescribes you cocodimol, codeine, all these substances, you're only meant to go on them for a short duration of time, like 8 weeks, 12 weeks on them, withdraw off them, 12-week period. But doctors are leaving you on them for months. You know, they're putting people's health at risk, aren't they? Been taking those now. Time to be careful. I've seen many a big man fall down foul to them tablets, mate. Especially in prison. Loads of lads take them in prison. Go to the gym, pull the back, end up on them. Don't see them in the gym again. See them 6 months later, all horrible and fat and stuff. Kerry says she got addicted to tramadol. One chemist makes 30 million a year off methadone alone. Listen, mate, I was in Hull prison. Mate. And I couldn't believe what they were doing with methadone in there. Believe it, mate. Normally, years ago when you went into jail, if you were a heroin addict, you'd be prescribed methadone. Or if you had a prescription of methadone outside, yes, John Russell, your prescription outside would carry on because someone went to the European Human Rights and won the fact that in the outside world they've got medication, but in the inside world they can't have it, so they won it. Yes, LG, Reggie. So basically, yes, the girl's on fire. Basically, this is how it was. If you had a heroin addiction outside, you'd go into prison and you'd get no help. You get a paracetamol, put in yourself, and you'd do your rattle, come out 3 days later, get your head together, get yourself in the gym, and repair yourself. When you get out, you look 100 times better with a better chance of getting on with your life. That's the way it used to be. But then you had some of them smackheads that couldn't handle the waters. They couldn't do the rattle. So they're scared of getting nicked because they can't do the rattle. But when they got nicked, they're going into custody, it's like torture for them. You know, they weren't getting helped, they were just getting locked in a cell, pissing all over the gaff for days. They'd get moved out, the cell would get wiped down, next one in, pissing, rattling a few days, out, next one, and that's what it was like a conveyor belt in prison for people with addictions. But everyone that went on that conveyor belt with an addiction who never got the help, long-term benefits of it, 100%. Going through that rattle, going through that torture, coming out the other end, repairing himself, not developing an addiction through the doctor whilst in custody, going through his prison, clean-headed, coming out the other side, doing whatever. Someone challenged it. Our solicitors got heard of it, got on it, challenged it. So people with addictions have took it to the European courts to say, hang on, we're getting prescribed this drug and this drug and this drug outside and then getting put in custody and not being allowed the same, and it's doing us damage. So they won the case. So now, if you're prescribed a certain drug outside, you come into custody, the prescription follows. If you come in and you tell them you've got a heroin addiction, the majority of the time, you'll get put on methadone. But what that does, they don't do a rattle. They can keep their addiction up whilst they're in custody. They look rough as life because at least outside they're eating, inside they're not eating anything. So they look rougher, they get worse. The rat behaviour gets worse. They get out, bang, straight onto crime. Worse. But then when I went to Hull, years later when I'm going to prison, I'm seeing the queue in Hull prison, and the queue, it's like 200 deep, and I'm thinking, hell, there's some kids on methadone here, mates. Now, not everyone that goes to the treatment hatch gets methadone and that. Some are just going for like foot cream, whatever. But they do the methadone run in Hull at a different time from normal meds because there's that many. The doctor was prescribing it for toothache, prescribing it for backache, joint pain, people who were depressed and had bad news on the phone. Yeah, I'm not lying, they were just prescribing it. And everyone was just taking it like it was great. I was like, wow, you're all... Yes, Natalie Jensen, hope you're good. But that's what happened, mate. I was thinking to myself, this can't be right. This must be against the law, this. How can you dish this methadone out for, like, trivial things? It was something to do with, like, they ran out of normal stuff. They ran out of normal painkillers or something. And they were substituting everything with methadone. Definitely not, Kyle. People don't want to hear the truth, but that's what it was. And it was a Scouse governor in there. He was in there. I broke some kid's jaw in there. What was his name? Kid from Park Road. No wonder some of them Park Roads can't stand me. Wing, the biggest wing. The longest wing. What was the kid's name? Mudd. John Mudd. He was a few years younger than me, to be honest. But he was a big... That's what you do when you're immature. End up in prison like a knobhead, breaking people's jaws.